once again for another episode of Comin at Ya. Comin at Ya, a podcast about the world of mixed martial arts, boxing, pro wrestling, Comin at Ya, and heavy metal music with a slice of comedy for good measure. Comin at Ya.
Bro, we're totally back.
We are back. Like an eagle soaring the skies in a battlefield. We are back.
It's good to be back, bro.
It is good to be back. For anybody who's probably wondering what is going on, I am the American hero, El Águila Mascarado Americano. And I wrestle all throughout Mexico, spreading liberty and justice.
Mexico?
That's right.
Bro, that's awesome.
That's right. Even though we're building a wall, an American bald eagle will be able to soar over it.
Hey, bro, can you turn that music down, bro? I want to hear you better.
Certainly. Watch this.
Oh, that was amazing. Oh, my God. Holy shit.
So, if everybody doesn't know by now, this is a costume show.
Bro, I can't hear you talking to your microphone, bro, because you're too far away.
You can hear me talking.
Oh, there we go, bro.
Human
There we
Torch
go,
was
bro.
denied a bank loan.
Too close to you, Todd.
There we go.
I'm too close.
Yeah, bro.
You don't
Now
talk
you're
like
good,
that
bro.
all the time, are you?
Bro, I hear you good, bro.
Are you really going to talk like that all the time?
Are you going to talk like that, bro?
I'm talking normal now.
Yeah. It's a costume show.
No, we can't do that.
Bro, for a little bit, bro. Let's get started, bro. First you said, last week, I want to wear costumes. I was like, I don't like it, bro. And then I was like, wait a sec. Whoa. Costumes, bro? And then I was like, whoa. Let's do it.
All right.
You more comfortable now?
Now I'm comfortable. I can breathe. I can move.
And we're back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 193.
Brought to you by
Resp Tattoo.
For all your tattoo needs.
He's been surfacing a little bit more. He's back out and about.
I've been trying to talk to him. I was trying to get a birthday tattoo from him yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah, but he was trying to talk me into like a full sleeve. I'm like, dude, I can't afford a full sleeve. Let's just get something small.
Yeah.
Add to my shit.
He does like the bigger pieces.
Put your headphones on because you can't hear you at all.
I can hear you fine.
We can't hear you in the mic.
You can't hear me.
Bro.
I can hear him all right, bro.
That's better, bro.
Okay.
All right. Who else is it brought to us by? XCC 29?
29. Helen, you're looking patriotic and good.
2.5 weeks.
That's right.
Until XCC 29. It's going to be at the Philadelphia Armory.
I'm very excited for the return.
August 19th. It's going to be awesome. We should try to get some fighters in the next 2 weeks as well.
We should.
Also brought to us by Netflix.
Netflix has a wonderful new series that they just started.
Bro, what's the series, bro?
Forget the Ozark with Jason Bateman, where he's like a money launderer.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
You know what I started watching? Van Helsing. Have you seen that one yet?
I saw it, but I didn't get to watch it.
Bro, it's good, bro.
What's it about?
It's actually a woman who there's vampires. It's like an apocalyptic kind of thing, and she is immune to the vampires. But here's the deal: when the vampires bite her, they go back to normal. So now they're trying to avoid her.
So they're afraid of her.
Like, you ever see like the video of like a shark swimming around like a swarm of fish, and the fish are just kind of moving out of the way?
Yeah,
it's partly like that. It's
so
pretty good.
She's like the boogeyman for vampires.
And we're like 4 episodes into it, and it's pretty good. Also brought to us by Leatherman Tools.
Made in America.
Fleshlight.
Made in America.
I wish you'd put those headphones on because he's all over the place with the sound.
I'm not all over the place.
Todd?
He's a little all over the place.
A little all over the place.
I'm not all over the place.
There you go. Just talk into it.
I know how to talk into a microphone.
I just like
what? I gotta look at what? You don't? Do I look like a man you can't take seriously?
It's a little distorted at certain points.
You're distorted.
Either too close, too far. Too close, too far.
Liberty and truth is never too far.
Bro, liberty is always
on.
there. It's always there, bro. Who else is the show brought to us by? Oh, Dads in Cargo Shorts. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we do Letterman Tools? WWE Network?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we did them
Extreme
too.
Cage Combat? Resp Tattoo? Who we missing? Trenton Road Takeout.
Okay, we're good.
Anybody wants to know where they're at? It's Trenton Road,
And they do takeout,
and they do takeout.
which is a very Pennsylvania thing.
Oh shit! Whoa!
What a jackass.
Holy crap! That thing almost went through the roof. Now, being a hero like you are,
To millions.
what's your fitness regimen?
I'm doing a lot of cardio.
Have you ever done Diamond Dallas Page yoga?
I have.
The other guy who normally does the show with me, named
Yes.
Bullet,
Yeah.
has been doing it since probably January.
Okay.
And he's lost like 40, 50 pounds. And he got a little bit off it for a little bit. But about a week ago, he recovered and got back on it.
Well,
That's good to hear.
Diamond Dallas
Yeah.
Page himself is a luchador, just like myself.
Isn't it a requirement of the luchador to wear a mask?
No,
Really?
a luchador wearing a mask could be a luchador enmascarado, a masked wrestler.
Does luchador mean high flyer?
Fighter.
High fighter?
No, it just means a fighter.
High fighter.
Oh, Christ.
Whoa.
No. Here's an interesting fact about Lucha Libre. This is the truth. Fidel Castro trained in Arena, Mexico to be a luchador and was interested in making Lucha Libre a hand-to-hand combat system for the troops in case the U.S. ever invaded.
Oh, how
in a land
shitty
war.
would have they got?
Can you imagine Cuban soldiers busting out Hurricane Ranas
Dude, they
and
would
fucking topes?
they would have got so fucked up. First time like a dude's coming at me and try to put your mask on, it's just not gonna work out.
You don't have to wear a mask.
I think if you're a luchador, you have to wear a mask.
At one point, maybe you would lose it.
Now, would you say this is your alter ego out of all the alter egos? If you had to pick one, this is the one.
I would say Kevin Honeycutt is the alter ego.
Where's the background?
I'm just saying.
So, how long have you known Kevin?
I've known him for about a year now.
Really? And how'd you guys meet?
At a sex party. I'm just kidding.
Did you have sex with Bullet?
No.
Did he have sex with you?
No, I didn't meet him at a sex party.
Were you perhaps tag teaming someone?
I met him at a signing, a wrestler signing,
Is he
a fan show, if you will.
Now, did he totally nerd out when he saw you? Because he seems like just one of those douchebags that just gets crazy when he sees somebody.
He is a bit of a nerd, isn't he? He is.
Now, when he came up to you, it was just kind of like a pay thing, like $5 to get a picture with El Luchador Americano Escudero.
It's $50, $1 per state. Since I represent them all.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I don't know who my alter ego would be if I had to pick one. Now, when we talked about doing a costume show,
Yep.
I was originally planning on to wear a dress because I lost a bet last week.
Yes, you did. And you tried to get out of it.
Oh no, I'm still gonna do it. But I bought this beautiful wig. Didn't look like a lady at all once I put it on. Not even a little bit.
Are you going to wear that wig so it feels like you have hair?
No, but when you're this masculine and you try to wear a female wig, it just doesn't happen.
Do you think you're ultra masculine?
I think I'm semi-masculine. Probably more than normal.
Above average.
Above average, yeah.
Above average.
Yeah. I don't mind fighting. I like the outdoors. I like some beer.
I'll say that's above average.
Yeah, they're all pretty much requirements.
I'd go with that.
Have you ever met somebody, you were talking about maybe having some of the nerdy friends on.
Yeah.
Do you think they would be overwhelmed? That's because you said they were like, oh, I don't know if
They would be
come on.
scared. They would probably be intimidated a little
Do you
bit.
think it would
scared.
be something similar to the likes of what happened on Saturday night when you came over for the fights?
You mean where you guys just ridiculed me the whole time?
I don't know if it was
I don't quite see it that way.
It felt like you came out of the gate strong. We had to settle the Wild Stallion down.
Talk about having to settle the Wild Stallion down.
He's smacking his head into the wall, smacking into the microphone.
Hey, I don't want to make it uncomfortable between you two, but did he give you the 20 that he owes you from the fight on Saturday?
No, he didn't. But that's okay.
Is this did he bring stuff to
Stop
the
yelling in the mic.
Sorry.
Yeah, hey Thor, why don't you stop trying to cause all the thunder with your big fucking mouth there?
The deal was he had to owe me $20, but then he gracefully pointed out that I never pay anything for the Libsyn service to get this online, which is like $30 a month. And times 6 years, times 12 months, I'd say, I'm going to let him pass on the 20.
Okay, how about him bringing just Wawa for himself?
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Hold on. What? I can't hear him. What did he say?
He said, how about bringing Wawa just for yourself? Like, he didn't bring snacks or nothing.
No, he brought enough for just him.
Hey, guys, you want me to bring some beer? Nah, it's all right, Bullet. Hey, guys, you want me to bring some snacks? That's all right, Bullet. Anybody need a sandwich? I'm going to Wawa. No, that's all right.
This Bullet guy that you're talking about sounds like a real dick.
What a fucking asshole.
But he's not here right now.
And then the weird part was he had his sandwich and he sat on his knees at the table eating a sandwich. But he was sitting like this, just like leaning all into it.
Because I didn't want to get stuff everywhere.
You or Bullet?
Bullet wanted, yes.
Is that you, Bullet?
I think it is.
I knew it. I totally knew it.
The tattoos didn't give it away.
The belt kind of gave it away a little bit as well.
It did.
When you knocked on the door, I said to Todd, I'm like, this dude looks like Bullet. I wasn't sure. Totally wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But when you showed up with no sandwiches, no snacks, no beer, what else couldn't? If you're going to a party,
It wasn't a party.
It was a UFC event.
It wasn't a party.
It was a UFC event.
Next time I'll bring stuff.
It was you, me, and Todd. But you had come for previous events.
And I've brought stuff.
And you brought stuff. Where was the disconnect here?
My wallet.
My wallet disconnected from my hip.
Yeah, my wallet and the bank account. I got my bills.
But you had started while we were watching the fights.
Mm-hmm.
And just some of the random shit that was coming out of you, like out of nowhere.
Like what?
The next fight's coming on, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, does everybody know I have this disease that...
I never said I have a disease.
It's not a disease, whatever you call it. And, what's it called?
I talked about having chromesthesia.
Chromesthesia.
I have...
Where you see...
I have associative chromesthesia, not projective chromesthesia.
What's the difference?
Projective is you literally see colors. Associative is you associate strongly a color to a sound or a pitch.
What about a song?
Well, if you heard the fucking pitch or the note, then you would have that, yeah.
So let's say Journey, Don't Stop Believing comes on. And none of that song resonates with any colors?
Shit brown.
Because you don't like the song.
Because it's horrible.
You don't like that song?
I don't like Journey.
Why?
Because
other people like it. It's your. You know who he is? It's John Cusack, and
no, I just don't like it. Just it doesn't resonate with me at all.
That's who it finally dawned on me.
A lot of people like the replacement because they hated the other guy.
High fidelity. You're him in High Fidelity, but on all topics.
No.
Because we talked about sometimes like you'll just chime in just to fucking fuck with somebody.
Oh yeah, I definitely do that.
Yeah, but you do with music too.
Yeah.
Not to fuck with people though, but to impose your opinion.
Yeah.
And while we were watching it, like you started talking about stuff, and you started talking about your chromesthesia.
I just threw it out there.
And you were mad that Todd and I didn't know that you had this.
No, I wasn't mad at all. Number one. Okay, so this is where the narrative gets twisted.
Recap how it went down.
I sat and watched the UFC for 3 hours and got fucked with by you two jerk-offs for the entire event about everything I did, didn't do, said, didn't say. Yeah, so that was the event.
I actually felt bad at one point.
Bro's watching again.
I'm not even on camera.
Who was?
It's just Bullet at this point.
No, I got you, Chris. Sorry.
Who's watching?
Your brother.
Hey,
He's going to be on the show next week.
Chris.
he is.
It's just I moved it on.
Oh, I got you, Todd.
Wow.
Wow,
So I can read the
Toddy.
comments.
So you show up. You don't have any of that stuff, right?
Yeah,
And you sit down in a chair.
yeah.
And we're hanging out, having a good time. At what point did you feel like it was going to turn on you?
From the moment I walked in the door.
Really?
Yes.
You just there was a vibe?
No, I just know how you two operate.
Are we a smooth operator?
There's nothing smooth about you
No,
two.
there's nothing smooth about it at all. But you got caught in the vortex.
That's okay.
For sure. You know who used to get caught in our vortex a lot? Our dad.
Still does.
Still does sometimes. and our mom definitely gets caught in it. But it got to the point where my kids get caught in the vortex too, but not in the middle of the vortex. They're on the outside of the vortex, vortexing people as well.
It didn't bother me, really.
No, it didn't seem to bother you in the slightest. But
It didn't.
Which made it even more entertaining to just keep hammering you.
Yeah, it didn't even faze me. I'm dead inside, so you really can't.
But had you
get me.
shown some sort of a weakness,
Yeah, you would have exploited it.
We
Yeah.
would have been all
Oh,
over
I know.
that.
I know.
That's like my favorite thing is to realize something bothers somebody and just keep chipping away at it.
What's one of Dad's? His
His
new Polish accent.
Yeah, my dad's married to a lovely Polish woman, but at some point along the line, he picked up a Polish accent for certain words. Like, so we were at his house probably.
Seriously?
Yeah, like 3-4 years ago when I probably 10 years ago or 7, I don't know,
been
a while ago. But Declan and Delaney were born, and we show up to my dad's house.
He wouldn't be the first guy to do that, though. Guys do dumb shit when they're
But we show up to
when
the
they're
house,
getting it put on them real good.
and he says to my kids, he goes, "Would you like some candy?" And Aiden immediately on it, and Mackenzie right on it. She's like, "Candy," and just started ridiculing him. So now anytime there's candy involved, they just harass him to death about it.
Oh, he probably regrets ever saying that.
But we do it to my mom all the time. She got in a car accident like when she was young, right? And she's the worst passenger in the world. Like, how old was Mom? Like 16?
I think so.
Yeah. And she's 72 right now, and she's still traumatized from the 16-year-old accident.
That's your mom, though, man. You can't
Oh, it's my
ridicule your mom.
mom, but
You don't
dude,
ridicule your mom. What's wrong with you two?
You put her in the passenger seat of the car, and it's just awful.
Chris, can I do a little bit of it?
Yeah. Hyperventilating, like
Well,
grabbing the
you
shit.
You put up with it. That's your mom.
What's the little handle up here called?
That's a handle.
Handle.
I thought it was like the oh shit handle or something like that. That's what they should call it.
I don't ever get scared.
I was really looking forward to your brother coming on as well because we had a lot of questions for
He's
him.
going to come on next week.
Yeah, but we have a lot of questions for him.
About me?
Absolutely.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some paranormal activity conversation, which I think I'll find a little bit interesting because you, apparently from our conversation last week, you don't believe in ghosts.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I
took it as you didn't.
say I don't mess with any of that stuff. I don't go stay in haunted house. Like, I've dated girls who were like, I want to stay in a haunted house.
You like the
I
goth
want to go to.
chicks.
I like girls in period, but everyone went through a goth phase in the 90s. What the hell's wrong with you?
No, but you still like the goth girls, I think. Dark hair, wear all black,
No, I don't. they
into
don't-
heavy metal.
No,
No?
no,
Really?
no.
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 I don't listen to really anything heavy. I listen to friggin' jazz.
You don't like Journey?
Oh, well, it's
Top 5 bands, go.
ever or at the moment
Your top 5 bands right now or ever?
that
Just
I've been listening to.
top 5 bands, go. Just answer the question.
John Coltrane.
Is
Miles.
that Roscoe Coltrane?
What does
Pete
he sing?
Coltrane?
What does John Coltrane sing? Is he a country guy? Cares where John Cusack comes out. Look at the face. Who's John Coltrane? Well, no, I'm asking you. I want to be
Is he
enlightened.
friend with the Hazard Garage
He
guy?
was a giant of jazz
Okay.
saxophonist. Miles Davis.
Number 2.
Number 2. We're talking like all time. Like there's gonna be rock bands in there because they got me. Like I grew up on it.
Top 5.
I could do a top 5.
Guns N' Roses in your top 5?
God no.
Oh, Jesus.
Why? Why not?
I don't think. No, because I think. Okay, so the whole thing with Guns N' Roses. I remember when Guns N' Roses came out in the late '80s, mid-late '80s, and there was a real air of danger about them.
Yeah, they had appetite for destruction.
No, but what I mean is, it's just like
They had an appetite.
they were the
destroyed.
dangerous underbelly of the glam scene that was like pervasive on the radio and
Don't you think
MTV
they all
at the
change
time.
at some point when that happens?
Well, no, but what I mean is that there was a real, genuine air of danger. They were kind of like that generation's Rolling Stones. They were, there was a really cool interplay between the two guitarists. Songs were really well done.
Where did they jump the shark for you?
With Use Your Illusion, because by the time
Was that the double disc?
yeah, they had like a backup band. They had backup
Yeah, there was
singers, and everything
opera.
was so bloated. These overproduced epic videos, and it just became nonsense. And then they didn't do anything for 30 years.
They stopped getting along. right?
Yeah. I
Was
mean,
that
it
their
happens.
last big album?
Yeah. Well, they did Chinese Democracy like.
Which was horrible.
Well,
No, actually, it had some good tunes on
Yeah,
it.
but how long did it take to come
But
out?
that's
Like
a
10
soul-
years?
Into the mic.
But that's like a solo album.
I am in the mic.
All right, just don't yell.
It's like a
Take it
solo
easy,
album.
guy.
Now I would say Metallica. I think Metallica is like a jumping off point for everybody. They're either the heaviest band you listen to or the least heaviest band.
What do you consider them?
Metallica?
Yeah.
Pioneers. They
No, heaviest. You just made a statement. You said, is it either heaviest or not?
they're
the heaviest?
definitely not the heaviest band I listen to.
So top 5. Right now, you've given me 2. Actually, you gave me 1. You gave me John Coltrane.
I'd say Life of Agony or Mina Caputo.
And what kind of song is that? What kind of music?
Life of Agony started off as like hardcore, and then they turned into rock. Mina Caputo's singer is all over the place with
So
styles.
did they get softer as they got older?
No, I just think they matured. They changed. I don't think softer necessarily means maturity.
Who's the band that just sang "Sound of Silence"?
Disturbed.
Disturbed. Do you like those guys?
Not necessarily. I shouldn't say like.
But weren't they a little bit more hardcore? And then
They're just not my thing. They're just not my thing.
2 bands so far out of 5.
They're just not my thing.
Who is your thing? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Chet Baker. Chet Baker was
Was he
really
another
good.
jazz guy?
Yeah, Chet Baker was really awesome.
All right.
Invented cool jazz. Sinatra. Big
You
Sinatra
like
fan.
Sinatra?
Love Sinatra.
Name 5 Sinatra songs.
Well, my favorite album is that he ever did was "Sings for Only the Lonely," and it was a concept album. You had "Angel Eyes," you had "Lonely Old Town," you had, of course, you got "My Way." I love
That's on the same album.
no, "My Way" wasn't on that album. When he did his retirement concert in Madison Square Garden in the late '70s, that was such a great album too.
How old was he? That he was probably late
He was-
70s, right?
He was getting up there, yeah. But that was probably my favorite album.
Doesn't he
of
sing
his.
"That's Amore"? Is that one of his songs?
He probably did. Frank Sinatra was really one of the guys that the Great American Songbook, like he really wanted to do these standards and really arrange them.
You know who does
And-
good
and-
versions of his songs?
Bublé?
Bublé does good versions, and I'm a closet Bublé fan. Whenever I hear songs, I like them.
I
like
hope
it.
he's okay, man. His kid he's got like a 2 or 3 year old kid who's got cancer.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that
he
sucks.
put his career on hold, both of them. And
He seems like a solid dude.
yeah. And even if you don't like his music,
I love his music.
how the fuck, like, you
when
know
his
what I mean?
Christmas special comes on, I can't help but fucking love it.
I think people are always going to unfairly compare him to Sinatra because he's a big crooner.
Do you like Harry Connick?
Yeah, I do a lot. I think Harry Connick Jr. is an amazing jazz pianist, and he just happened to be a good-looking dude and be a good singer.
He's a good actor too.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, and he parlayed that into movies and all. But
You know who's another good crooner that I like?
great
That
pianist.
started out with a band that everybody likes to say they hate, but when you hear the songs, they love him. And then he switched to a crooner for a while, and now he sings country. Take a guess.
Aaron Lewis.
Nope. I did see Aaron Lewis sing country now.
Yeah, he's a country guy.
I'll give you a hint. He's black.
Ice-T.
No. His
The guy from Hootie and the Blowfish?
Hootie and the Blowfish. What the
Oh,
hell-
Darius Rucker.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
dude's got some pipes.
No, Darius Rucker is a great songwriter.
Anytime I hear a Darius Rucker song, I'll stop and listen.
I'm a big Brad Paisley fan. I like a
Brad
lot of country
Paisley.
too. Hank Williams.
I love Hank Williams.
Don't like Junior too much.
One of my favorite songs is "The Highwayman."
Willie.
It's Willie Whalen
Yeah,
Jennings.
but I like Willie.
Chris Christopherson.
Willie's a guy who's like
I'm gonna be sad when Willie dies. Like we talked about when
he's
some of these other guys died. I
a
didn't
lot
care.
of jazz influence in a lot of the chords that he plays and some of the stuff that he does. I'm a big Willie Nelson fan. Like a lot of different stuff. It's really hard for me to nail down like something top 5, but I love Pantera. I mean, shit, they got me through high school.
They like give you the answers to tests.
Yes, actually. I like Ryan Adams a lot. Not Bryan Adams.
Who's
Ryan
Ryan
Adams.
Adams? What does he sing?
Ryan Adams. God.
Summer 62.
No, that's Bryan
No,
Adams.
Bryan Adams.
Bryan
That's
Adams.
Summer 60.
He had a really good double. He did
69, by the way.
Is it? Yeah, you're right.
his big song was right around 9/11, where he did a song about New York, and it just happened to be around that time. But He has a really awesome double album called Love Is Hell, Part
And
1
what
and
kind
2.
of music is he singing?
Alt country.
Okay.
Country, but with some alt leanings. And
I love old country.
yeah.
Anthony Gardner's Darius Rucker.
Yeah,
Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
So he's like...
And then Big Bro is talking about Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and
I
Dunn.
like Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah, my brother's in Georgia, so they
Todd
keep-
just recently started listening to country music. I've been listening to it for probably about 20 years.
I tell you, George Strait's another good one.
George Strait's awesome.
Because George Strait's got a song literally for any situation.
There's so many good country singers, like old school guys. You know one of my favorite songs? Dolly Parton, Jolene. You ever hear that song? Jolene. That's a fucking awesome song.
Tina Dean's got a weird one. Barry Manilow. She's not kidding. Huge fan.
Barry Manilow's not bad. Was anybody surprised that he was gay?
No. And that's up there with Rob Halford when he came out from Judas Priest. It's like
Yeah.
the leather cop hat and grinder and fucking
a leather vest with no shirt
yeah
and assless chaps.
the worst kept secret in the world.
So 3 more. We only got 2 out of you so far. Actually, how about this?
I've given a ton of them.
Guilty pleasure music. Like there's a couple out there like Michael Bublé. When I hear him, I like
I
him.
don't believe in guilty pleasure music.
I don't like the minute. You know who else I love? Justin Timberlake.
You know what?
Don't
When I
like
hear-
his music,
I'm
but I
gonna
like
keep going
him.
down that Justin road. I like Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
I
Not
can
all of
sing-
his stuff.
Not all of it.
But like
can sing a lot of
I've
his
watched some
songs.
concert videos of that dude. That dude's pretty well-rounded with his entertainment. Like he has one with Garth Brooks. I don't know if I think it's Friends in Low Places or another song, but it's fucking amazing. He's in the middle singing. He's in Tennessee or something, and Garth comes out, and they sing a duet. and it's
I don't
fucking
believe
amazing.
I don't believe in guilty pleasure music though. You
Something
like
you're
what
just
you?
ashamed of, and like you wouldn't tell anybody.
I'll tell anybody I listen to whatever I listen to.
How about
Top.
something like Pink.
Do you listen to Pink?
No,
You have Sirius Radio, right? Sirius Satellite.
no.
If you're listening, if you're in the car and you can listen to the radio because you're using the work van,
Spotify
right? Okay.
or podcasts.
First genre you go to when you get in the car,
Jazz.
or does it depend on your mood?
Depends on the mood, but it's usually going to be either jazz, rock, or hard rock, metal, whatever.
That's your second choice.
yeah, and then country.
I find that when I listen to country and I'm in traffic, I'm so much more calm.
It depends. Like if I'm in a really pissed off mood, I'm going to probably put some like really fucking aggressive black metal on, like Behemoth or something like.
But I find if I'm in an aggressive mood, I try not to enhance it. Maybe you should try that sometime.
You should.
Is there any songs that make you go absolutely bonkers in the car?
Well,
I have a playlist that
like
says
stuff I'll listen like
songs that make.
Stuff I would run my car into.
There's
a
a
wall.
couple songs that make me go crazy. Like I hear Panama from Van Halen.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love that. I hear Jump from Van Halen. I go crazy. I hear
White people get turned when they hear fucking Van Halen.
House of Pain, Jump. I get crazy.
Yeah.
But then I hear Hurt by Johnny Cash, and I immediately want to run my car into a wall. Also, what's the song with Lita Ford and Ozzy Osbourne?
Oh God.
Close My Eyes Forever. Whenever I hear that song,
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah, I want to run my car into a fucking wall when I hear it too, because it's horrible.
yeah, but like it's just so depressing. You know what? There's 2 songs that I fucking love when I hear. It just takes me back to like when I was in the military.
You want to hear a really good song that'll, because this is very appropriate for you.
2 songs real quick. Milli Vanilli,
Oh.
Blame It on the Rain.
You got it.
Fucking love that song.
Blame it on the rain.
And I can't remember the other song.
George Strait Troubadour.
How's that go?
It's basically about like an older guy like yourself who's like, I can still fucking go.
Whoa.
I can't go as hard
Hey,
as I
older
used
guy,
to.
I still
I
go
can't
hard.
go every night.
I go hard in the
but
paint
I can
every
go.
day. I'm hard in the paint every day.
Listen to the song.
I'm gonna listen to this song. I'm insulted by the way you brought it, like led into it.
Good. It was meant to be.
I'm going to read your brother's sentence exactly the way it is. You'll know how old he is probably. Give me a thermos of coffee and my ACD collection on the CD player.
AC/DC.
Wait, the CD player, and I can drive for a week.
Oh.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with ACDC.
Dude, remember when you had the tape player and CD players came out, and you could still buy a car that either had the CD player or it had the tape player?
The 6-disc.
Oh, dude, when you got a 6-disc changer,
You were the fucking man.
that was the downfall.
Yeah.
Like yesterday was my birthday, and my dad gave me some cash. So I immediately
Happy
went.
birthday, bro.
Thank you. I immediately went and bought a turntable. Right, because my grandfather died last year. I got like 15 David Bowie records.
Oh shit!
Right, and I brought the turntable home, and I put it on the table, and I turned it on. And when I bought it, I talked to the guy. I'm like, it has Bluetooth, right? He's like, yeah, it's got Bluetooth. I said, I can play the Bluetooth out to my speakers, right? He's like, yep, no problem, guy. You can definitely do that.
You got it, bro.
So I bought it, took it home. Bluetooth doesn't go out to my speakers. You have to Bluetooth into these little shitty speakers that were on the side of it. But the problem was I put the record on top, and it was Led Zeppelin Cashmere.
Oh,
Right. I put the needle on the record, and I'm like, this sounds like shit. And then I took it off, and I put it on the next song, and then I put it on the next song, and I put it on the next song. Like, I can't sit and listen to anything anymore because we're so conditioned to, like, you can just skip to whatever you want.
yeah.
Like when's the last time you sat through a whole album?
Yesterday.
Well, you have an appreciation for it, unlike other people. And what album was it?
Miles Davis, Bitches Brew.
Now, are you sitting there and you're just listening to it directly, or it's on in the background? Because there's a difference.
I was listening to it.
How about some Make
That's
Love?
an album that you have to reckon with. You have to engage with it. It's not an album that...
Do you sit on the couch and just stare at the sky? Like, how do you engage with it?
Yeah.
He sees colors.
He does. But it's all one color. Like, it's every note is the same color.
Turn his fucking music off. I should have never said that because you guys will just ridicule me.
Oh, it's never going away.
Well, you guys think that I have Asperger's and all kinds of other stuff too, so it's fun to just throw stuff out there.
We had brought up a list of bullshit afflictions,
Okay.
and then we forgot to put a list together.
Of what you think bullshit afflictions are?
No, it was just a list of like on the internet of bullshit ones.
I can find them.
Find them.
Bullshit afflictions?
Bullshit afflictions. But I used to have like certain albums I would play. Like I remember like when I was younger, like if a girl came over, right, I'd put in the CD, and put on some Jodeci.
Oh shit!
And make some sweet love to that shit. You don't know Jodeci?
I know Jodeci.
Oh,
Stop
no,
it.
Todd doesn't know it.
Do I know it once I hear it?
No, I don't. You probably won't. So you haven't made the real love then. He hasn't made the real love to Jodeci.
Yeah.
Dude, you get some Jodeci on in the background tonight when you get home, right? Walk in the house. Don't even say anything to Trish, right? Grab her by her hand, help her off the couch. Walk her up the steps, right? As you're walking behind her, disrobe. and don't care if the kids are around, right? Just by the time you get her up the steps, she turns around and you're fully nude, right? Standing at attention, and you're like, let's go in the room. And you hit the Bluetooth with some Jodeci, she'll just melt.
You're gonna be hitting that shit hard and deep.
Yeah. Which means you're gonna punch her in the face and put it in twice.
Wow.
That's the way he's getting deep. So we came up with the bullshit afflictions, and then we were coming up with we were talking about my wig, right? And how without the hat on and without the sunglasses, I looked like Christopher Adkins from Blue Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Todd, I go, get that list out too. I said, hey Todd, I said, what do you think Chris Atkins' net worth is right now? Because that dude hasn't been in movies forever, at least that we thought about, right? He was in Blue Lagoon, then he was in The Pirate with Christy McNichol, and then something else. Dude's still worth like $2 million. Yeah. So as I was looking it up, I found an app, right, that has people's net worth. So we're gonna play a little game.
How accurate though is that?
It's probably not 100%, but they probably have a good idea, right?
Ballpark figure.
So we ballpark figure. But we figured we play a little game, and it's celebrity net worth, but it's not the big stars, right? He's gonna pick some people that we both know.
B and C level.
B and C level, yeah, maybe even some A people, and we're gonna figure out their net worth.
Like I see who gets closer, like the Price is Right.
Who gets closer, like the Price is Point. You can't go over. Okay.
I'm waiting.
All right, let's start. We'll start with a high one, just for fun.
Oh, you just gave it away right there.
Well, no, because you know it is.
Okay.
Tom Cruise. What do you think his net worth is?
We weren't doing the A people.
I know.
He's probably $345 million.
Bullet.
I'm gonna say 145 because he gives so much money to that wacky church of his.
Yeah.
550
Holy
million.
fucking shit! What the fuck? Oh my god!
Holy fuck!
If I just had a portion of that, I'd be happy.
500
$500
million.
million.
And that's he was divorced twice.
Yeah. You could probably go down a rabbit hole with like who he was married to, like what they're worth, and then just keep going.
Man.
So
500 million.
So I won.
Yeah.
You can rattle off whoever. I don't want you searching too hard.
Well,
You
the
seem like
problem
you're
is
getting confused.
Well, it doesn't give you a list like you can just.
Right, you just scroll down.
What do you think Mel Gibson's worth?
Oh, Mel Gibson's probably 750 million or more.
Nah, dude, he had like 30 kids with that chick, and then he divorced her.
Dude,
so he got taken to the fucking bank.
Think of that dude's movies. You got Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, 4.
What are you
I think
saying?
there was a fifth
What are
one.
you saying?
Passion of the Christ.
What are you saying?
Hold on, Passion of the Christ.
I know his filmography, motherfucker. I'm asking you how much you think he's
but
worth.
People at home might not know. The Patriot, Braveheart. Dude, he's probably I'm going to say close to $1 billion, 900 million.
150.
425.
Oh shit, that's still a lot of money.
I mean, you overshot that.
I got a little aggressive. So right now it's 1-1.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. He's having a lot of issues lately. He's got a few rapes, possible,
Oh Jesus.
right?
Alleged.
Alleged. He's roofied a few people allegedly, and he's got.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, I've roofied myself a few times.
You know, I'm roofing myself right now. Literally.
So you figure he had the Cosby Show, right? Which was a huge show around the world. Tons of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Stand-up comedy. Damn it, I'm gonna say 175 million.
45 million.
He's still worth 400.
Holy fucking crap!
Yeah, I guess Fat Albert, Cosby.
Oh yeah, I
Show.
forgot about Fat Albert.
Yeah, so he was part of some things that he got to keep.
Yeah, Fat Albert. Hey, it's Fat Albert.
God damn, 400 something
Dude,
million.
tell me I don't do a good Fat Albert.
No
though.
wonder his wife is sticking with him.
Hey. You got to move a little quicker, Todd.
Dude, it's tough.
He's not a good scroller. Tell me that's not a good Fat Albert though.
It was.
Hey.
I mean, it was borderline racist, but it's
No, it's from the show.
yeah, but
It can't be racist if it's from the show.
I guess.
The problem is there's so many people on here
Just
that
pick
we
it.
don't know.
Just pick ones you know.
Just
Next
try.
one that you know, grab it.
Holy shit.
Maybe Todd doesn't know any. Maybe Toddy doesn't know anything. And by the way, our new guest on the show, Bullet, Toddy, what do you think? I was at a costume store yesterday. This dude was sitting up in the discount section because his leg was disconnected from his hip. And I got him for a steal. And I had him in the back seat of my car with the seatbelt on driving through traffic for hours. You're not going to engage me in that part of the conversation?
I'm just staring.
He's pretty cool.
He's he moves about as fast as the real Tatati does.
You haven't
over
found
here.
one yet? Jesus Christ.
Sorry, dude.
You know what? I think sometimes he gets distracted by shiny objects.
One job.
And he just...
He has one fucking job.
Like, he's sitting there reading it. Like,
One job.
Like, we're not in the middle of something. And he's just...
That's cool, Todd. Take your time.
No, look over. You look over at him. He's just kind of like,
I'd love for you to try this.
I have it.
Here, do it.
I have it on my phone.
Do it.
Ask one while I'm looking.
How much do you think Bill Gates is worth?
$2 billion.
I'm gonna say $4 billion. $4 billion.
90 billion.
90 billion?
You know what? I might be wrong.
Hold on.
Yeah, 90 billion.
Are you
Did you
fucking
just
kidding
fucking
me?
say... Hold on. Did you just say 90 billion?
I said 90 billion.
With a B.
With a B.
As in Bravo.
That is
Billion.
crazy.
Billion. 90 billion. You just said billion?
I did.
Holy fuck.
90 billion.
Oh, this is a subject.
That is...
Billy Gunn.
Billy Gunn, the
Billy
wrestler?
Gunn the wrestler?
Yep.
3 million.
I'm going to say 13 million.
Chris was right. 3 million.
Holy shit. You know what? This list of names is just fucking awful. But there is a search bar up in the corner.
Who was Hawk's partner?
Animal.
Oh.
Tell him, Animal.
What do you think his net worth is?
5 million.
Oh, This is his world. He should know it.
I'm gonna say, if fucking Billy Gunn was making his worth 3, I mean, shit. I'm gonna say, if he's smart, I'm gonna say 5.
How about 100,000?
Are
Well,
you serious?
I did put the caveat of if he's smart with his money.
What do you think Chuck Norris is worth? Todd, there's a search bar up in the corner. You can look up there.
Yeah, but
Who's
you
Chuck?
didn't-
What's
you said
Chuck?
random.
I know,
I
but you
can
could
find. I could search. Fine.
you could have made up some names that
I
you
could've
wanted to look
pretended
up.
like it was random.
What do you think Chuck Norris worth?
Whatever he wants.
I'm gonna go 60 million.
I'm gonna go with 75.
You were closer, but you were over.
It was a
70 million. What do you think John Cusack's worth?
42 million.
You know what? Not enough, because that man is brilliant.
Todd?
75 million.
Bullet. Nailed it. 40 million.
Nice.
Actually, you said 42, so you were both over.
How about King Kong Bundy?
$60,000, which is still more than I have in the bank.
What do you? I don't know. It's too many wrestlers in a row already.
$50,000.
What do you think Joan Cusack's worth? The sister.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
20.
20.
2 million.
6 million. She's on Shameless, and she's got some other one. How about Arnold?
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
800 million.
Todd?
80 mil. Wait,
Who do you think's worth more, him or Sly?
definitely Schwarzenegger.
No, I'm gonna go Sly. I'm gonna go 200.
Yeah, because Sly writes. Because Sly writes.
And what's your basis for the decisions?
Because Sly writes and he creates characters, so he probably gets licensing money.
And he's had actually franchises that he.
How much is Mel Gibson worth? Was it?
He was like 425.
Yeah,
420? I'm gonna say.
425.
Then I'm gonna say Schwarzenegger's 825.
Okay.
I'm gonna say he's 200.
And what do you think Stallone is?
Stallone. I'm gonna say Stallone's probably 900.
I think I already know the answer. So 400.
Stallone is 400 million. Schwarzenegger 300.
That divorce really cleaned him out.
What do you think Van Damme is worth?
RVD.
$1 million.
Jean-Claude.
JCVD.
30 million. Oh, you didn't answer.
30 million.
Todd nailed it. Perfect. So, but Rob Van Dam, 5 million.
How about Paul Daly?
Paul Daly, the fighter,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
400,000.
50,000.
4 million.
What?
What?
Give me some other fighters.
All right.
What's Randy Couture worth?
Semtex? Paul Semtex Daly.
Randy Couture.
We'll get there. Demetrius Johnson.
6 million.
1 million.
6 million on
Good
the
God.
button.
Fuck. Randy Couture?
He's good. He's got him.
Jesus.
Are you looking up a list of fighters?
I'm
All right, just stay on the list. Throw them out.
How about someone like John Fitch?
Fitch, 2 million.
$80,000.
John Fitch, $3 million. But I think they got a lot of like. Does he have someplace he trains that he runs?
It doesn't matter how he
No?
gets it.
All right.
It's just their net worth.
All right.
Because if you look at Koscheck,
Horian Gracie.
Horian Gracie,
Ooh.
Oh, that greedy
probably
fuck. Probably 100 million.
60 million.
50 million.
God. Look up Hoist Gracie.
Oh, I saw that already. His.
You're not supposed to tell.
I already got it.
All right,
25.
26.
5.
Oh man, he's getting a raw deal. You know what we should talk
what's
about?
sad? You know what's sad that I saw when I first looked at this list?
Yeah,
Evan Tanner was on here.
he's dead.
I know.
You know we should talk about some fight news
We should.
since we're talking about fighters. UFC 214. That was the last one, right? 214.
That was the one the other night, yeah.
Not a bad card.
It was a very good card, actually.
Oh, we haven't had the fight music in a while.
Wow.
I'll remember that as the fight where Bullet brought Wawa for himself.
You can't talk over the music.
This fucking guy.
He's got one job.
One job.
He doesn't understand yet. He's like, you know what we got to do? We got to treat him like a dog. Like to just shit on the carpet and smash his head into the microphone.
That's what it is.
Say bad. Bad Todd.
That's what it is.
Bad
oh,
Todd.
oh,
Todd.
it's my
Todd.
show now.
You know,
let
you
me
should roll up
give my
roll up a
opinions.
newspaper and put it on the front there. Just threaten me with it.
This fucking guy. Well, I'm going to give my opinions on things. I'm the star of the show.
You know, but he wouldn't wear a costume.
I know.
And it would have been his one opportunity to be on camera.
This fucking guy.
And he shit the bed.
I can't show up on camera.
Actually,
guys.
you know what he said his costume was? Overweight jogger.
Oh, yeah.
Because he runs and
He's overweight.
I don't like running.
I don't like running unless
Beats up the
somebody's
body
chasing
too
me, but
much.
the undercard was good.
You ever see me running? You better run for your fucking life because there's some
There's
serious
a
ass
reason.
shit coming right behind me.
If I see you running, I can walk ahead to see what the actual issue is
Oh, is that true?
and still be back in time to make sure I'm safe.
Well, you know what? Instead of buying a wig and sunglasses for your costume, what you could have just worn was a black belt. That would have been a costume.
Oh, see, I wouldn't wear one because I'm not a black belt yet.
That's the whole point.
Yet. But I will. Someday I will be. I'm just going to train through every one of my injuries
Your multiple injuries.
until something happens and gives way. But
What's
hey,
funny is I thought you were saying Wilson's name. I will someday.
no,
That's
it
not
wasn't.
Wilson.
But UFC 214, good card, right?
Very good card.
Well, let's talk about some of the fights on the card. Todd,
Well,
who's
I mean,
on the list?
The main event, the actual main card started off with a first round knockout with Jimmy Manuwa getting blitzed.
Oh my God, dude!
I mean, it
was
was
it
just-
Vulcan that he
Yeah.
fought? Holy shit!
That
I never
guy's got
seen.
dynamite in his hands.
I've never seen a dude just get thrown like that. He was like Vulcan caught him with something, and then Mano was falling backwards, and he just threw him. Like it wasn't even a technique. He just threw him to the ground.
And Manuwa is not a small guy.
no, but he fucking launched that dude.
You know
He
what I
did.
forgot we missed about what was also wrong with the fights on Saturday?
What?
When he made you buy the HD,
Oh.
and then we almost made you buy the SD on top of it.
Oh, so
Todd's
Yes.
coming at me with a lot of heat today.
here's what
Lot of
happened.
I knew there was a lot more to that
For-
Saturday night than just.
Don't think
Just
I'm
the
gonna
Wawa.
don't think I'm gonna forget this. Apparently, you've been harboring some real resentment.
Yeah. So for folks at home,
Do I gotta take you to a fucking Wawa to make this better?
It's a good story. It's a good story.
we were gonna watch it on the Cody.
This fucking guy.
Cody, and we realized that there might be a connection issue, and it was such a good card that we decided to pay for it, right? And Bullet just rattles off, channel 504, pay for it. I'm like, okay. Turns out I don't have.
Yeah, how am I supposed to know that you're gonna be a cheap fuck and don't have HD?
I don't have HD because I stream everything.
You don't have HD. You have HD TVs, correct?
Listen to me.
This is a yes or no.
No. You look at me.
This is a yes or no.
This is a guy who doesn't understand. If I pay for HBO,
Yeah.
right? I don't have it on my box, but I stream it through my Roku or my Amazon. It's HD,
Okay.
and I don't have to pay for the upgrade.
Do you have an HD television?
Yeah, and I watch everything in HD.
Thank you. Okay. So apparently not everything. Do you have a Comcast cable box that is an HD capable box?
No, I don't need one.
I'll save you.
I didn't need one until the other day.
You actually do have one that's HD capable, and so
Why couldn't I get HD on it then?
because you don't have it on your account because you are
No,
a
the lady said
miserly
what-
old fuck.
The Indian lady that I spoke to
Yeah.
for Comcast said, you don't have an HD box.
You don't have an HD on your account. That box is an X1 box. They're all.
What do you know about cable boxes?
My friend Kevin told me that.
So I wound up ordering it, and then I get on the phone.
I gotta say, when you get mad, it is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever
It
seen.
takes me a lot to get mad,
That's not true at all.
but no, to actually lose my temper.
You were fucking so stressed.
This lady had me so pissed off.
You could have stuck coal up your ass and crushed it into a diamond. You were so tense. You were like,
Dude, here's how the phone call went down. Yeah, hi, this is Chris, and this is my address. Go through all the shit. And they say, is this your phone number you're calling from? It's all automatic. Finally, the lady gets on the phone, and she's like, can you repeat everything? I'm like, well, why the fuck did I? It just started off wrong. Like, if I just gave my address and my phone number and all the other shit, you should be able to figure out who the fuck you're talking to. Right?
You're just mean. You're
So-
just a mean fuck.
No. So I get her on the phone, and I say, hey, you know what? I just paid for the UFC in HD, and I don't have HD. I need to switch it to standard definition. And this is what this fucking lady says to me. You know, let me talk to my colleagues, and I'll be right back. 12 minutes later,
While you cursed at her the entire
Oh, I was-
time.
you know what? Rarely I do that, and this lady's on speakerphone, and I'm cursed. And And she's like, what are the last few digits of your credit card that you pay with? I'm like, you fucking kidding me? And I'm like, this lady wants me my fucking credit card information?
It was pretty funny.
Oh, I was pissed off. So she puts me on hold for like 12 minutes, and finally I just get pissed off and I hang up, right? Immediately I get a call back from one of her colleagues. And the colleague says, hey, I understand that you're having an issue. I said, yeah, I bought the fucking UFC 214 on the advice of my friend Bullet, who didn't bring anything to the fights. And
I'm just turning his mic off.
I bought it, and she's like, well, hang on a second, puts me on fucking hold again.
I would have put you on hold too. You were very rude.
2 minutes later, she comes back. She's like, you're all set. I was like, thank you very much. And then we watched the fights, and this is where the ridicule started.
And we almost missed that first fight.
He's still talking. He doesn't realize his mic's off.
No, he doesn't realize that.
We almost missed that first fight.
We almost missed the first fight because I was on the phone with the lady. And
You know, it's funny. We almost missed the first fight.
You know what, Bullet? You're right. This was the fight with Jimmy Mano versus Vulcan, and not even halfway through the first round, like Vulcan caught him with something,
Nailed him.
but
42 seconds.
fucking just ran into him and just threw him into the ground, and Mano's head like bounced off the mat. It was just brutal.
It was a bad knockout.
Started hammer fisting him. Who was the fight after that?
Robbie Lawler.
Oh
Cerrone.
shit!
Jesus Christ.
What a good fight.
That was a great fight. They just started. There was no feeling out process. They just started going.
Talk about two scary dudes, right?
Yeah.
Both dudes on their own,
I
fucking
think
scary as fuck.
Even though Cerrone lost.
I don't think he lost. Like he lost the fight, but in my mind, he's
No,
You throw that dude. I never get.
He's in
upset.
there with a former champion of the world. And not only that,
But you know he's going to put it out there every time.
But what I mean is the rap on Cerrone is if you jump on him early, he's gonna fold. And Lawler ran at him and was hitting him with solid punches.
Oh, in the first minute.
And by the end of the round, Cerrone was giving it right back to him.
I never thought I ever seen anybody come right out like that ever.
That
was crazy.
No,
Yeah.
and Cerrone definitely was not ready for it. But he is a resilient dude, and he fucking hung in there. And
Right back and forth.
like both dudes.
They both had great moments.
Both dudes are scary, right? But ton of respect between the two.
Sure.
And before, was it the third round? Like they came out and hugged each other.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's fucking do this. And then they fucking finished the third round. They still
Because
fucking.
I think those are prime examples of guys that are fighters. They're not pro athletes.
They don't care. They want to fight.
And I don't mean that disparagingly, but like you take a guy like, I don't know, a lot of the guys on their roster, they're fighting not to lose.
You mean like
Tyrone Woodley?
Now, first of all, it's
We'll get to him.
Yeah, you can't jump ahead. This is
You said it too at the same
First
time.
of
I know,
all-
but I'm out here in the camera.
if you want to talk,
Jinx.
you got to be on
You
camera.
can't talk until I
Yeah,
say it for
like he wants to be part of the show so bad, but
he
just
doesn't
won't-
want to be.
He's the dude on the ledge, like getting ready to parachute, but no, I can't jump. I can't
why-
jump.
why-
Can we put you on there?
And somebody has to push him over the edge.
Yeah, maybe he can wear a mask.
But here's the thing: when I'm speaking, he wants to jump over me and say what I'm going to say
It
because
is.
he is the same.
I think
line of thinking.
GSP was a pro athlete, not a fighter. I think that
I think when he fights Bisbing, he's going to be a fighter.
we'll talk about that again later. But
Oh, he cut you off.
No, he didn't cut you off.
Lawler and Cerrone are fighters. These are guys that would be doing this shit regardless of how much you're getting paid.
They would be in the back alley. Todd?
Oh, you want me to say something?
Yeah.
No,
Just
He
don't
does.
chime in before I chime in.
yeah, don't chime in before
You're
he chimes
a
in.
pre-chimer. You're a pre-chimer.
Sorry.
You're a
I forgive you.
preemptive.
You know why?
chimer.
Because you're my brother, bro.
Dude, that was an amazing fight.
I thought it was fucking phenomenal, and
One of the best fights I've seen in a while.
it could have gone either way.
Sure, I don't think the decision was a robbery.
Had I been eating a wonderful Wawa shorty at the time, and had Todd had one, probably would have been much more enjoyable.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I was, and it was very enjoyable. So,
But that's one of those fights like I was excited to watch, and I didn't really care who won.
the fight of the night for me, probably the most pleasing moment for me,
Right.
was Cyborg finally
I forgot Cyborg fought,
getting a
too.
UFC title.
But she didn't fight anybody of significance.
Sure
to get
she
the
Are you
title.
telling me Tanya wasn't anybody?
She had dad body.
Tanya Evinger,
Dad
though.
body.
Say this though, Tanya Evinger though,
She is tough as fuck.
She took that fight on 10 days' notice in a weight class 10 pounds heavier than her own.
There's no way that chick's 10. No,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Like she had to like gain weight for the fight.
I don't
She
think
just
she
didn't have
cut
to
weight.
lose any.
I think she's cutting from like 180 down to like 140. She's
Yeah.
pretty solid.
Yeah, she
She was tough as hell though.
I think-
Cyborg was beating the piss out
I
of her
think
first
I
round.
think the thing that was most surprising about it for me with Cyborg was it was like controlled chaos. She didn't just go out there and attack like you've seen her do in the past, which number one shows the respect that she has for Tanya Evinger. And I think it speaks to the training that she's getting now.
There was
she
never
was-
a time where Cyborg was in any danger.
But what I mean is that she didn't just blitz her the whole time. She was picking her shots.
She was calm, cool, and
She
collected.
was working off of jabs. She was showcasing her footwork, and when the moment presented itself, she was blitzing her in bursts.
It was a burst blitz.
Yeah, it wasn't just pure aggression with no game plan, and she spoke about that in the post fight. But rumor is she's going to be, or at least she wants to wrestle Becky Lynch at WWE SummerSlam in a couple weeks.
That does nothing for me.
Well, it probably wouldn't because you're a short-sighted fool.
I feel like it would be a terrible wrestling match to watch.
It would probably. I mean, they're not. They'd have to book that really fast, though. I mean, 2 weeks. There's,
Like, is
there's
it
very little build up.
After watching Cyborg fight so many times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you put her in the ring with some chick, and the girl's gonna whip her off the ropes. Are you seriously gonna give that any consideration?
No, I don't think there's enough time to do it because they would have to. Number one, they would have to get her. Number one, they would have to get her in there to see how she would move in the ring. Because regardless what you think about wrestling, it's not fake. It's predetermined. But
I understand it.
you
but
have to know she has to be able to work safe. Number one, to where she's not going to hurt someone else or herself.
But it would be unbelievable having seen her destroy everybody else in the world.
Well, I think that she would bring credibility to the match, then, and the girl that she would be working with could probably adapt to that because she wrestled
Did
in Japan
Shamrock
for a long
bring
time.
credibility?
To WWE?
Yeah.
Of course he did,
How?
because he came from a legitimate background.
Right, but knowing how badass he was coming from somewhere else, and then all of a sudden some dude can just whip you off the ropes.
Yeah, but pro wrestling works best when it
You have
doesn't
to-
try to make you think it's real. It's when you get so wrapped up in the story
like
and everything
magic.
else
You
that
have
you
to
forget.
believe.
But he did do stuff with Owen Hart where it was pretty fucking stiff. Some of the stuff that they were doing.
He's the one who cut Owen's rope, from what I heard.
That's not funny.
Wow.
That's not funny.
That's not funny, but it's funny.
It's not.
It's not fun or funny.
Yeah, but I think whenever you have an athlete that comes from a legitimate background, they add credibility to that stuff. Like a Brock Lesnar.
How about when Shaq fought in WCW? Did that have an air of credibility?
Yeah,
Because
but
he's Shaq.
Maybe it lends credibility to the fact that they're legitimate athletes.
How about when Rocky fought Thunderlips?
the ultimate mountain of man, baby?
That's right.
In the flesh, baby.
In the flesh.
That's what made Hogan's career.
Yeah. How about Damian Maya versus Tyron Woodley?
Well, apparently,
Nice
apparently, Tyron Woodley
I really thought that was going to
injured his shoulder in the first round.
Is that why he didn't throw any strikes?
That's why he didn't throw any
That's
overhands.
such bullshit.
Apparently, he's got to get surgery. What's the thing? Not the rotator cuff. The other one, the labrum.
Chromesthesia.
He has a labrum tear, and that's a hard
gonna
surgery.
ignore.
I'm going to ignore it completely. I don't know about seeing colors, but I see two dickheads right here. All right. I hope you choke on that.
How dare you flip me off like that? as
I
well?
know. It was beautiful. It was a double bird.
And by the way, when you get
American
home,
Bird. Yes.
feel free to check all your pictures in your phone.
What was that?
Just feel free.
Why? What'd you do to my phone?
No, we don't need to worry about that now.
No,
my
don't worry
man.
about it now.
You're not going to fucking try to
Don't
do that
worry
bullshit.
about it now.
From what I remember, there was a bet on this fight.
Yes, there was a bet on this fight. You
and
might want to check your other phone as well.
Oh, you dick. You dick. How dare you defile my fucking phone? Wow. And I'll post them all. I will post them all.
There's probably about 75 on each phone.
I know.
There's a lot of them.
Thank you.
But Damian Maya didn't even set up his takedowns even a little
Look,
bit.
I can understand the criticism of Tyron Woodley that it was a boring fight. However, it takes two to tango.
You can't tango on your own.
You can't. However,
What do they call that when you're dancing by yourself?
masturbating.
Dancing by yourself.
That's it. Yeah.
Don't you feel that Damian Maia deserves some of the the criticism as well, though?
What you mean for going forward
And trying
over
to
and over
engage.
and over again?
But why didn't he stand and strike with him? Why didn't he try to set up the takedowns with punches or kicks?
Tyrone wasn't striking. It was the least amount of strikes
It's Tyron.
ever.
It's Tyron.
It's not. It was Tyrone 5 years ago. There was an E on it. If you go back to old fights,
It's Tyron.
it's not Tyron.
It's Tyron.
Not
Woodley.
Tyron. Tyron Lannister, maybe. Did you watch Game of Thrones last week?
I did, but let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you a question.
Tyron Woodley says
Come
that
on,
he
Lisa.
tore his labrum. That's
He
going to
ain't got no
require
license,
surgery
Lisa.
in the first round.
You kicked him in the family.
Say it one more time.
Tyron Woodley says that he injured his shoulder
Okay.
in the first round.
Uriah Faber breaks both hands in a fight. What does he do? Throws
Okay.
about 1,000 kicks
Okay.
Elbows.
and elbows.
Do you think that what he did was fight smart and to keep his title, or do you think you're in that situation? What would
If
you
I'm
do?
fighting, I'm fighting to win.
We won't even ask Todd.
Todd's never been in. Actually, Todd's been in a few fights.
I have.
They never went well. Ever.
Really? Wow, he's gonna dog you like that?
Todd, have they gone well?
I'm like 10 and 50.
10 and 50. And remember you told me that story about the one when we were a kid with Eric and the other one?
Oh yeah.
The one who was mad and said something to Paulie was the coach for Aiden's new team.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I understand the criticism that he's getting. However, if he injured himself in the first round,
Who's the guy that had the stars on his shoulders? He used to fight in
ECW. Strike Force. And
WCW. No? WCW?
Why does that not sound right?
What's the one that was the one for the smaller guys before it became bought by Scott Coker ran it?
Strikeforce,
No. It was the other one. Like
WEC.
WEC. The guy had the stars here. You know what I'm talking about. He's a good fighter. He broke his hand, kept fighting. Who was the guy?
He was part of.
The one that broke his
he was
foot.
part of Team Punishment.
Broke his ankle.
Who was the guy?
Razor Rob McCullough.
Yeah. Who's the guy who just broke his leg in Bellator, but wanted to keep fighting?
Yeah, but that's not smart.
It doesn't matter. He fought, and they were continuing fighting. You fucking.
You're talking about Michael Chandler.
I'm talking about Michael Chandler. Huge difference. That dude, broken foot, still trying to come forward.
It was his ankle.
Whatever. Ankle, foot. It's all below the knee bone.
Yeah, it's
Right?
really a big difference.
It's fucking this.
Really
dude,
a big difference.
Not really.
Kind of.
Well, he maybe had chromesthesia.
Well, he's an ankle expert. He's foot.
You
he
know,
knows,
you are
he
an
knows,
ankle
he
expert.
knows.
Yeah, I shattered my heel and fucked my ankle up. There's a big difference.
But it doesn't. That's not the point. The point is, you got dudes that are getting these injuries and they're fucking coming forward. and
You've
still
got
fighting.
guys. It goes to my original
And then
point.
you have a guy. Oh, I hurt my shoulder.
You've got guys who are fighters, and then you have guys that are professional athletes that are competing in a sport because they're good at it and they can make money.
And
Yeah,
that's
but
Woodley.
are you gonna argue that they need to get paid the same? Like he's not worth a dime.
Woodley sucks.
What
He
I
may be the champion,
what
but
I
he's
would
not worth
what
a
I would
dime.
argue is that they're looking at it from the perspective.
Next time him and Woodley,
Lawler?
Lawler fight, not going the same.
No, I don't think so either. I don't
But
think
finish
so
your
either.
thought. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I don't necessarily
I
think
digress.
either one, the way that you look at it, I think they're looking at it as,
How about,
I don't think Woodley places the fact that at the end of the day it's entertainment.
How about
And if
Fitch?
you're not entertaining to watch fight, I'm not going to watch you fight.
there's other guys like that, like John Fitch,
Mm-hmm.
Ben Askren,
Yeah.
and who was in Tyrone's
Although
corner.
Askren's been finishing a lot of people lately.
But who was in Askren or Tyrone Woodley's corner?
Askren.
Yeah.
That's not his fault though. You can't make him fight.
And
You
was
can't make him
it
fight.
weird that I didn't hear anything about the shoulder thing until days later?
I didn't hear anything until Bullet just said it a
Yeah.
second ago.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
And then he went on Ariel Hawani's show and publicly threatened Dana White and said if he doesn't give me a public apology, I'm going to start releasing shit to the media.
Well, that's just dumb.
That they don't want released. Listen, it gets better. Then one of his training partners
Did he die?
said, "I've got dirt on Woodley, and I'll fucking release that if he releases that shit."
Oh shit! Which partner?
Colby something or other.
Colby Callis, the female singer?
No. A guy in the UFC who's 7-1 in the division. But so then a third guy came out and said, if he releases shit on Woodley, I'll release shit on him.
So it's
So
just
the guy said, I'll release shit on the guy who's going to release shit on Woodley, who's going to release shit on Dana White if he doesn't get a public
vicious
apology.
circle that
It
was
all,
started.
it all ends with Zanfir, the master of the pamphlet.
It does. He did. They did talk on the phone. They said everything's cool.
You don't think there's dudes that fucking Dana White knows probably that would just shut Woodley up for fucking ever?
Probably.
And I don't see Dana White really caring. Like,
No.
unless it was so horrible.
That dude's pretty.
And
he seems like he's a loose cannon, but that dude's pretty well thought out. Like he's not gonna fucking just let random.
especially with
information.
Tyrone.
Yeah, or
It's not
Todd.
gonna-
I'm
Tyron.
sorry, it's Tyron.
Tyron.
But if you look at Woodley's old fights, there's an E on the end.
That's because they misspelled it.
Oh, okay.
Because they're racist.
Co-main event was that? What's the main event?
Johnny Bones Jones.
Wow.
Against Daniel Cormier.
What a good fight.
Great fight. DC's got nothing to be sad about.
DC looks so small next to him.
Oh, he's got a 12-inch reach disadvantage.
I thought you were going to say it was a 12-inch reach.
No, 12-inch reach disadvantage, and like I think a 6-inch height
That's crazy.
disadvantage.
That means if people don't know anything about fighting, like if I go to punch Bullet and Bullet throws his punch at the same time, his punch gets there like
A foot faster.
a foot faster than my punch.
I'll say this though, watching the first fight and then watching the second one, I think Daniel Cormier's wrestling. I know it sounds kind of funny, but his wrestling was a lot better.
He didn't take John Jones down.
No. But in the first fight,
Didn't Jones take him down once?
in the first fight, John Jones shot for a takedown, took him down, and then Cormier reversed it immediately and stood back up.
Right.
But in the first fight, he got taken down several times, rather easily. I think for a guy who had a 12-inch reach disadvantage, he was very effective in the pocket in a lot of the exchanges, which was very surprising to me. At one point, in either the first or the second round, he was bullying John Jones around the ring. He was controlling the distance, he was controlling the pace, and he was backing John Jones up. Now,
Can you do that in wrestling, boys? Say that whole thing again.
no,
You're not going to do it for me.
I'm not.
Why?
I don't, because we're talking serious shit here. I think that Jones. I don't think either guy was blowing the other one out of the water at any point.
I thought you were going to...
Oh yeah, blowing each other. I don't think anybody was in real danger until that kick came.
Was that first round still or second round?
The kick?
Yeah.
That was the third.
God, I was pretty drunk at the time. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Supposedly though, someone dug up footage of John Jones and Daniel Cormier talking shit to each other at a press conference from the first time they were going to have a rematch.
I heard there was
and
a
Cormier
dude,
said, "You're not going to kick me in the head with that left kick."
but I heard there was a guy who said, "Hey Cormier, you can't do that." And then another guy was going to release something about what Jones said to Cormier.
Yeah.
And then Cormier released another
I
thing.
thought that Jones was very classy in his post victory speech.
I felt bad for Cormier.
I felt terrible for Cormier. I think anybody that made the meme of him crying was fucked up.
You know what? I follow a guy named Tom DeBlas, right?
Yeah.
He owns Ocean Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Tom's River,
Yeah.
right? And the guy Gordon, I don't know the guy, but he's like the top jiu-jitsu guy right now, right?
Okay.
And so's he's got a bunch of guys that are just phenomenal out there.
To the point of the story, not an ad for his gym.
No, not an ad for his gym, but he put on a thing on his Facebook or Instagram, said the people that are making fun of him are the people who've never put anything on the line.
Exactly. And I said that in a friend's post. I said the people that are making fun of him never have or never will put it on the line like he has now. The reason why he was so upset, and I'm not saying this to be mean,
He just had his fucking head kicked in.
even more than that,
Bro, head kicked in.
he realizes now that in his mind
He was never the champion.
he was never the champion.
And
He even said if there's no rivalry if he won both fights.
And Rogan even said he's like or he said to Rogan, he goes exactly what you said. If I didn't win both fights, how can I be the champion?
Any of them. Yeah, where he said that there can't be a rivalry if he won both fights.
What are your thoughts on Rogan interviewing him against normally what he would normally do?
You know what? Some of the most beautiful moments in fights
Are the pure ones?
are, like, remember Nick Quarry?
Yes.
Okay.
When he got his fucking face
Nick
punched
Corey
in.
got punched out like in like 53 seconds.
He was a highlight video forever.
And they interviewed him right after the fight, and he said, "Hey, Rich is a phenomenal champion. I came in here and did it my best.
But
I've got
Corey went
nothing."
all like fucking
But, like,
rigid.
he said some really awesome shit that really endeared him to fans. And you know, you're kind of robbing people of that. I mean,
Corey's a good dude.
I hate to go back to this because you guys are gonna. Because for me, everything's pro wrestling, but the whole entire thing of because they're the same. I mean, they come from the same place, whether you guys know it or like it or not. The reason why people get invested in baby faces or good guys is they get invested because of the struggle and the relatable, and they see that. And you get a guy who just got knocked out or just got defeated, and he's being honest, and you get to see that struggle. It's endearing. You know, one of the things that made Kimbo Slice such an endearing guy, you look at him.
I never liked Kimbo.
I loved him. And the reason why so many people loved him was because he would, he's this big, scary guy, the beard, the hands, the street fighting.
But he wasn't.
But he was a guy that was learning on the job. And that was the whole narrative of The Ultimate Fighter when he was in it.
Did you watch earlier videos on Kimbo at all? What
Yeah.
a fucking asshole.
Yeah, but
There was videos of like, hey, we'll pay you $100 to catch this football, and you just run down, and this dude's going to try to tackle you. And the dude would lob the ball up in the air and not even looking, and Kimbo would just fucking run the dude over.
yeah, but you know.
Like a fucking asshole. And then he fucking got humbled by fighting real people that knew how to fight.
Yeah.
So Kimbo was not a fucking saint.
You don't know
He was
him.
no, fuck that dude. He was not an angel. He was not a fucking good person until he realized that he wasn't as badass as he thought he was.
I disagree totally.
Fucking bullshit.
I disagree.
And Dada 3000, did he die?
No, well, he almost did.
Okay. But same thing.
I think it's
Running
always
backyard fights, you don't know
back
shit.
to the original point. I think it's always it should be up to the fighter. If the fighter doesn't want to be interviewed after a tough loss, they should be able to no, or they should have one of his people to say no. This dude's he doesn't like.
How many times have I had that happen?
Well,
at
the
XCC?
one of the first time that it's those are winners. They're not. They're not
but
comfortable.
XCC, there's times I'm like, hey, can I interview? And they just fucking run off.
Yeah, but I think the one time it was really bad was Alistair Overeem, and they really he looked really bad in that post-fight interview. But I think.
How about times when BJ Penn lost and he just fucking ran out of the ring?
But what I mean, well, that's their prerogative. I don't want to talk. I don't necessarily think there should be a stoppage of post-fight interviews. It should be up to the person. I don't want to talk, or I do, because again, as a viewer, as a casual viewer of the sport or something, and I just seen that dude just lose, and they're in their most vulnerable and raw moment. Now I'm invested in that guy. Now I want to see what that guy's going to do next, because it's all about the journey of this guy trying to get his way back up to the top. A lot of people don't like John Jones, but in that moment when he said, I'm back,
I thought his speech at the end of the fight was amazing.
but he was very relatable, because he's a guy who's like, look, if you fuck up, if you lose everything more than once and your chips are fucking down and you don't stop believing, that's relatable.
Journey.
Right, don't stop believing.
He pulled a Lloyd Christmas on me. Just when I thought you couldn't fucking make
John
anything worse.
Jones's talents
You
were
brought
never
it all
questioned.
back.
They were never questioned. But think about, he could have been a 30 for 30. He could have been like
What's
an
a 30 for 30?
like an ESPN 30 for 30 documentary. Like
I've never watched one.
Who's that guy? They're doing one on Ric Flair in November. It's going to be awesome too. Who's the one quarterback with the Browns? Manziel. Like, he's a classic fuck up. You know?
I don't follow football at all.
Either do I, but like, I know the name because he keeps getting arrested and all. But it's not like
He's on the blog.
he wouldn't be the first star athlete who's been given too much too fast and then fucks it all up. And that's what John Jones did. He got a second chance. He fucked it up again.
I think he handled his speech regarding Cormier fairly well, and I wouldn't be surprised if
Like a Rocky Apollo Creed thing.
No.
Never gonna happen.
no, but if deep down Cormier had good intentions the whole time, realizing that fucking John Jones was this. Now listen, hear me out. Don't shake your head. What if he always thought John Jones was as amazing as he was, and he's like, I'm gonna push this dude to the fucking limit to bring this dude to the point where I know he can be.
That wasn't manufactured. They genuinely do not like each other.
I get that. But in the back of Cormier's head, he's like, this dude's better than he actually is.
He always
as a person.
said he always said that John Jones was the best fighter.
Not as a fighter, as a person.
I don't think he cares. I think
he does care.
I think Cormier is a competitor.
Do you think he cares, Todd?
And he wanted to be recognized as the best.
I honestly think he does.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I think Cormier actually cares enough because Cormier is deep down a good dude.
Let's look at this dude's credentials for anybody that wants to fucking laugh at Cormier. He's an Olympic wrestler.
Right.
That in and of itself, you just don't fucking walk into the Olympic wrestling team.
I'm not talking about laughing at him.
Strike Force heavyweight Grand Prix champion.
Still not talking about laughing about him.
UFC light heavyweight
champion.
champion.
Still not talking about that. I'm talking
saying.
about in his mind, knowing that he's an older guy.
How the fuck would I know? I don't think he cares.
I'm just putting it out there.
I don't think he cares one bit.
I think he did. I think he cared a lot. I think he thought highly of Jones enough that he wanted to fight him and push himself to the next level, and he was disappointed that Jones didn't turn out to be the person that he proclaimed to be. And the fact that he wasn't this person, he went out of his way. You don't talk yet. You watch your mouth.
You lock it up.
He went out of his way to push Jones to a fucking higher level.
I think Cormier, it drove him absolutely insane that a person that talented could be that much of an asshole. Mm-hmm. And in his mind, it pissed him off because he did everything the right way his whole life and worked and trained his ass off and overcame a lot of stuff. And now you've got this guy who is just ridiculously beyond words talented, and he's a dick. It's like meeting a musician, and you're like, how can this guy be so good? And he doesn't even really try, and he's an asshole.
That's how I feel when you play a song, and Todd and I can't sing a little bit to it.
Yeah, but you either have it or you don't. I can't help the fact.
Why you gotta say it like that? Like, oh, you have what an asshole.
He is.
You're a fucking asshole.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it. I'm an asshole. You put 900 fucking photos of yourselves.
You know when he interviewed Cormier?
Yeah.
Cormier could have done the same thing Forrest Griffin did with.
And just fucking ran out of the ring. There's not a dude in there other than Jones that could have stopped Cormier from leaving the ring if he really
There was a
wanted to.
video where the overhead camera.
I saw it.
It was scary. That was scary.
So
he did not know where the fuck he was.
That fight over, let's forget about it. Jones calls out Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Lesnar whips him off the ropes, catches him belly-to-belly suplex?
F5?
What's an F5? Is that higher than F4?
Well, an F5 is like the highest category of a tornado, I think it is.
Ooh.
And like whips you around like you're in a tornado. That's his finishing hold.
Does he have like a spinning motion to it?
Yeah, it starts off with a fireman's carry, and then he hoists you up, and then it's almost like
so
an
FC
fucking...
to an F5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who wins?
That the UFC, Lesnar versus Jones.
Jones kills him all day long.
I think Jones will
one liver kick and he's done.
Yeah. I think the UFC is in deep, deep trouble.
Do you?
Yeah.
Can you give me your professional analysis? You know, knowing that we're professional commentators, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, the fact that they're pushing that fight is hot-shotting, and it's reeks of desperation.
I think it's more Jones realizes he can make a big payday.
Let me finish here. You have the UFC just hired a lobbying firm to fight the Ali Act being extended into MMA.
And what is the Ali Act?
The Ali Act would basically say that the UFC can't have any managers that are going to be promoters. It would also say that
who was Ali's manager that was a promoter?
If you could let me...
Oh, I'm asking questions because there's people watching or listening that don't know. He didn't have it.
They're calling it the Muhammad Ali Act because he's probably the best well-known boxer of all time.
No, it's not associated with him in any way other than his name?
No, I don't think so. It has to do with the health of the fighters, but the biggest thing is that the promoter could not be the sanctioning body, and that they could not...
kind of like Golden Boy Productions, like...
well, it basically in boxing...
Like De La Hoya couldn't be the promoter and the manager.
He can't tell... No, basically, the way it is in boxing now is you have promotions, Golden Boy, Top Rank, Mayweather Promotions... But if there's a title on the line, The WBC, the WBA, the IBF, those are sanctioning bodies. They are the ones who say, this guy's the number 1 contender, this guy's the number 2 contender, this guy's the number 3.
Real quick then.
The UFC would not be saying, you're the number 1 contender now.
Mayweather versus McGregor.
Yeah.
Is that for a title?
No.
Anyway? Okay. So
No. But what I'm saying is this, okay, like Wilson's going to fight Demetrius Johnson for the title, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even better, okay, we'll do this one. George St. Pierre is coming back, and he's going to fight Michael Bisping for the middleweight title. There's no way that would happen with a sanctioning body because they would say, well, what has he done in the middleweight division? You know what I mean? The UFC wouldn't be able to make that fight. The other thing is that they want to start instituting more weight classes. And
they already said that's not going to happen.
No, they said they are going to do it. It's just not going to happen immediately. I think you have too many belts, it loses the special, quality of it. I mean, I think to me, like probably the best time for MMA and UFC in particular was when they had like 4 champions, 5 champions. They were special, and now there's like 10, 12. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's a thing where the other thing is TV's about to be renewed. The deal with Fox is about to be renewed. Cable TV is down. The revenue is down.
Can I say I wish they would go back to something like FX or something like that. Spike.
Who?
UFC. Because I can't stand when like soccer's on or something, some other sport, and UFC.
You're switching from channel to channel.
Bumped.
Well, what I mean is that, again, and this is just my thing. I think a lot of the things that made the UFC special are gone. The individuality is gone. They all dress the same. Many of them fight the same. I don't know. I think they're in big trouble. Like I said, I've said it many times, and I'll say it here again. I think in 5 years, the UFC is either unrecognizable or gone.
But there was 2 fights that you guys didn't talk about that I wish you would have.
Which is?
The one was the Brian Ortega, Renato Mosiana, that guillotine that dude put that dude in.
That was tight.
And he tapped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Almost
that was fucking
immediately.
shit. Was tight.
Yeah.
And then the Ricardo Lamas fight against Jason Knight was a good one.
The Lamas one, right?
Yeah.
Lamas
Yeah.
kind of picked them apart.
Oh, he knocked him silly.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to be Ricardo was going to be a little tough. It was going to be a little tougher on him. And then all of a sudden, Ricardo caught him.
Lamas is pretty good.
Yeah.
Good night of fights, though.
Very good night of fights.
Who's on the next fight card? Is that coming up in like a week or 2? Isn't there? There's some fights this weekend.
There are some people that would like to know if we could see the whole outfit there. Bullet.
Yeah, Bold, stand up.
Bullet, you're gonna be over on that camera. So if you come over here.
Oh, do you have the headphones on?
Yes.
I mean Americana. Oh, he's all.
He doesn't know what's going on.
It's a little messed up here.
Good Lord.
Got the boots.
When he told me about the costume, I didn't realize he was going to have the boots, and I also told him he should have a fake eagle on his shoulder.
I got a fake right here.
No, like on the shoulder, like an actual full-size eagle.
Boots. I've got the knee pads. I've got the whole gimmick.
Yeah, it looks good.
People are wondering if you will take off the mask.
Never.
And Todd, next time, maybe he could put a costume on and not be such an asshole.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nobody like my costume?
Should I drive home like this?
Dude, Blue Lagoon?
You
Blue
should.
Lagoon?
You should drive home
With
like
your
that.
noise-canceling headsets.
I
And
remember
your glasses.
when I was younger, we did acid, and we went to Zadar's in New Hope, and it was Halloween, right? And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, is this the one time a year where people just come out like this, and this is how they're fucked up, and it's the only year they're acceptable to look like this? Left there, stopped at my parents' house, and my buddy grabbed 2 motorcycle helmets, and we put them on, driving down the road. Cop pulls us over, and he's like, you know why I'm pulling you over? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, why do you have helmets on? I go, safety first.
Oh, yeah, you told us that, yeah.
Yeah. And he let us go because he was so entertained by the fact that we had helmets on. In reality, he should have arrested the shit out of us. But he let us go.
Yes, he did.
And I appreciate that. But
Well-
where can they find us coming up in the next 2 weeks?
Where find us?
Yeah.
What? Oh, Extreme XCC.
XCC.
What camera am I looking at here?
XCC 29. We are also.
Should I be in gimmick
We are also.
to do the announcing?
We are about 6 weeks out from you coming at you podcast 200.
We are.
And we're probably going to do some sort of special event. We're talking about maybe doing it at a brewery.
A brewery, yeah.
So keep an eye out. We're going to be putting out some invites.
I would like to
special's
do
gonna
it
happen.
maybe at a
We're going to do it somewhere that Bill would like.
I was going to say maybe like a booby bar.
Yeah.
No, I don't like titty bars.
I don't like titty bars either, but a bar would be fun.
How about a professional wrestling show?
No, I think
Okay.
we should do
All
it
right. You know-
somewhere where people can just sit and watch us, right?
Is he trying to get Chippendales? Is that what he wants?
No, but I think we should do it somewhere where people will just sit and watch us and engage us in the show, right? So the brewery, I think, is a fantastic idea. If you don't mind chipping in or chiming in and saying, hey, where you'd like to see us, here's the other thing we need, right?
Yes.
We're looking to get this show bigger, right? We've been doing it for 6 fucking years. Episode 193. We need people to share it, tell people about it, right?
Yes.
And that's the only way we're going to get bigger. And once we get bigger, you and I can quit our regular jobs. Toddy can stay and do whatever he wants and work part-time for us or however he wants to do it. But we need people to share the show. It's so important to say, hey, you know what? I like these guys. You should give them a check out.
That's what we should do.
Seriously.
Okay.
Not you and I. People that are fans and that we do this every week for, like, take a minute and say, hey, you know what? This is something I like. Don't be ashamed. Buble us. Right?
Yeah, we shouldn't be a guilty pleasure.
We should not be a guilty pleasure. We shouldn't be Michael Bublé or Justin Timberlake. Enjoy us for what we are and
I
share
agree.
us.
I agree.
Because otherwise the show's just going to go away. And it'll be like my daughter and said, who said, you know what? I'm not going to watch now. I just want to remember you later in life when I watch all your shows. And we're going to be that show that's on some random cable channel that nobody ever watches. And they don't know how to fill it with anything else other than coming at you podcast episodes from free internet. Right?
I don't want that to happen.
I don't want it to happen either. So I need people to share the show. It's so important. Can you give us a little something in wrestler voice to ask people to share the show?
What character should I do it in?
Do it in Americano.
What's the name again?
It's El Aguila, Americano, and Masquerado. The masked American Eagle.
Then fucking do it. You let it loose. Go.
I don't know. Like
You
I'm
fucking
still
let it
trying to
loose,
find the
Bullet.
character. Like what? Like, you tell me. Like, do you think he should be like a strong, silent type? Do you think he should be loud and boisterous?
I think he should be like Dusty Rose and Ric Flair fucked and had a baby. And that baby fucked Barry Windham. And that baby had another baby with Blackjack Mulligan. And that baby fucked Big Van Vader. And then Vader fucked Andre the Giant.
Okay, here we go. So you want a little bit of Dusty, a little bit of Rick.
I want them all.
Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, baby. We're going to talk to you about right now. You see, baby, we're doing this show for free, baby. You dig what I'm saying? So what we need you to do is we need you to go around town, if you will. We need you to go on the message boards. We need you to tell your friends, baby. We need to say, hey, man, I got a show that I think you would like. These two guys are a little crazy, they're a little cool. But what you want to do is go on to iTunes to give us a good review. You go onto the YouTube machine, you type it in your Google machine, you go Coming at Your Podcast, baby. And what you want to do is you want to say to the whole entire wrestling world, to the whole entire wrestling community at large, baby, you need to say, hey, I got something that's going to be coming at you. In fact, it is coming at you. And I'm not just talking about down low, if you feel me. We're talking about up high, sky high, bags of cocaine for everybody. Come on.
On that note, see you next week.